Grenada-born author Patsy Lewis now joins the list of authors who have written about the Grenada Revolution and Invasion. Receiving assistance from co-authors Gary Williams and Peter Clegg, the book was officially launched publicly last evening at Marisho House. Entitled Grenada Revolution and Invasion, is a wide-ranging collection of essays by academics in the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, and the United States, each with a unique perspective on the revolution and its effects. Lewis says her decision to chronicle her experiences was driven by the profound effects the events had on her, being a youth during the time of the incidences.
This question of Paul Schoon's letter and the justification, I ended up doing an interview in the 1990s with Anthony Abrahams, who was a junior minister of tourism in Edward Seaga's government. And he gave a completely different account because the general account is that Sir Paul Schoon wrote a letter. It turned out the letter was delivered to him. Most people knew that, but to actually hear somebody in the government, Seaga's government, say this was really, revealing. I wrote an article about it then. But then more recently, Edward Seaga produced a book called The Grenada Intervention, The Inside Story. And he basically repeated what I saw was some of the falsehoods that had been perpetuated before. And that, spiked my interest again.
In just 4 days, Grenadians and those affected by March 13th events will reflect on that period. And the book's author says now is the time for more analytical assessments.
I think that 30 years or more than 30 years beyond that point, it gives us a chance for more sober reflection. Kind of moving away from our emotions. For example, I'm not really interested in my piece on whether Grenadians supported the invasion, loved it or what. I am looking at it from the perspective of what I see as what is legal sense under international law and what claims are made for what is right there. Whether people are emotionally feel differently is not my concern. But I think that it has been difficult to take that kind of analysis or even to be critical of the revolution when you supported it, because quite a few of the pieces are critical. I think that for those of us who supported it, it's really good from this perspective to look back and see what were also the weaknesses that we were not aware of or couldn't see then. And I think that also for the people who thought it was a really bad thing and the invasion was a great thing, for them also to draw back from their emotions and try to more than 30 years, 35 years later, I think it's time for people to take a more sober reflection. I'm hoping this book does that.
The book is available at Art and Soul Bookstore. Eugenia Peters, GBN News.